from whichever time zone you're in. So we're going to cover some matches from the. It's been called a couple of things. It's got bilateral online Scrabble tournament, championship, sorry, from Scrabble Club Pokhara. This is Indian and Nepal students, essentially. You can see that if you go on IUC yourself and look at the finger notes of the players, all different students at different ages and so on. So we're just going to watch some matches, basically. And call through. That's it's not a match from the tournament itself. So yeah, this side, here we go. So a match between Ayush and Sargat. We'll get the so I think yeah, Sargat is on Nepal and India on the left. So a few early moves here. So I'll show you the list. So you haven't missed much. Corden for 22, and Sargat with Doi for 20, and then Blunt for 24. So Sargat here is sitting with a little bit of an awkward combination at VU. Pretty well balanced otherwise, just not the nicest letters, the VU combination certainly. Could certainly be looking at something like Dev. If you know your threes, or if you know some of your threes, the best option would be to perhaps play something like a word like that underneath. That would certainly get rid of some of the problems with that rack. Also score reasonably well. So there's a couple of options that could fit things in, but in the end, Sargat goes for a change. Those are the kind of things you'd really look for, something like Void, Devo. They're quite advanced players. If you don't know the words, then obviously you can't play them. So one of the things with playing Void, because this is a Void tournament, you get to try a few things. It's certainly worth trying 3-letter words, because there's so many that are going to you don't think about that which are in the word list. So yeah, we got, for instance, Fog would be a good way here. But again, it's going to be about using those threes. So something like Fog and Death. Again, using that Ono hook. If you don't know Ono, there's one as well, of course. So it's these kind of players are going to get you a little bit of score on this rack. The priority there was really to get rid of one of the G's as well. If you're thinking about like what kind of rack leave you want to, what kind of tiles you want to leave behind, you want to get rid of one of the G's because you get 2 of them, so duplicate. So you like to get rid of one of the G's. The S's, adding the S in the end is a bit superfluous. You don't really need to add the S on because the S is such a strong tile. It's not worth the extra 2 points there. Score's 14. And Ayush, 40 points up here. A little bit ahead. We'll keep pushing up the list so you can see the moves so far. So Sargat has picked out pretty well with the after that change 7 has picked out a blank. So again, you need to think about what letters you want to get rid of here. It's not just about playing off words, it's about trying to you got 2 components in Scrabble, score and leave, essentially. So you also get this, you get the score on this turn, and then what you're going to leave for your next turn, basically. And obviously the best thing is when you can use all 7 tiles, then you're not leaving anything for the next turn. But even that has a value in terms of how much you score and how much you leave. So here you're thinking about what tiles you want to play off. So here again, the duplicates you want to play off an N and a T. And the K is going to help you get a big long bonus word down. So for instance, you'll be looking at play off a T and an N, and the K would probably help you score. You've only got 1 vowel to work with, which is a little bit limited. So you're probably looking at, ideally with this rack, you want to play off tank or tanks. And those are the kind of plays you want to make. Sargat goes for a little bit extra score with Kiang, which is a nice word, 30 points. It does leave that extra 2 T's though. 30 points for Sarget. Brings the margin, the lead down to 10 points. Ash. There's the QU combination. And gets down fouls, which is a nice play. 24 points for that. Leaves the QU behind. And it's a pretty good play. Ticks all your boxes there, really. 2 U's, not so good. So, quick response from Sarget. Using that triple word for 30. And we're a 4-point game here. Irish with a QU still, of course. It's like a Scrabble Classic Souk available. It's not going to score a great deal here. In the end, Irish going for for 15. As we see, 19 points the difference. Sarget. Again, duplicate problems here. 2 N's, 2 T's. FW. Again, it's going to be the best place to score. Going to be parallel players with those kind of letters. And if when foy, using that triple letter, it racks up 26 points. Then Sarget takes lead now, 7 points up, but probably going to be short-lived. Irish to go next. And again, you probably want to be looking at trying to play it underneath here. We're kind of running out of places to play on this board. Yeah, Deb. If you know the word Deb or Deg, even, this is where you're going to get a decent amount of points. And making lots of words underneath, like beg. That's where you're going to get a reasonable score. You can also play through the O, but yeah, in the end, just dumps off the S for 11 points. Leaving that QU behind. Nice word from Sarget. Unwant. 18 points for that, and gets rid of a lot of bad tiles there, so that's pretty good. Not only scoring 18, but getting rid of the U, 2 N's and a W, some pretty awkward stuff, so that's a pretty good play. And keeps Sarget ahead, 14 points in it. Still keeping that QU combination, but it's not going to be very useful at the moment. It's just an awkward on this board, with it being quite blocky, quite awkward. The boxed in on the top left. It's going to be difficult to use that QU for anything. And with only 2 vowels, you're very restricted. The E doesn't go particularly well with the QU. So it's going to be difficult to really get much value out of that Q at the moment. And again, you're looking at this spot. It's pretty much the only place to score at the moment. Well, you're really looking at GU, so playing beg down here, or berg, that kind of thing. But yeah, it's pretty tricky. Pretty tricky to do anything with this one. So this is round 5 of the 16-round tournament. It's played over 2 Sundays. So the first 8 rounds of the day, and this is round 5. We don't have up-to-date results yet, but as soon as we do, we'll let you know. So in the end, just plays bet for 5 points. And that's all get each in your head. And has the X for a big mix play there. And that's 33, that's a big score. 42 points to lead now. So I'll get gradually edging ahead here. Irish has picked out a couple of vowels after bet, but still a little bit restricted. Other things to be wary of here, you've got bet, lots of hooks for bet, so you can extend it many ways, both sides. I bet. Interesting word, why bet. You bet, beta, Beth, all these kind of things. Something to keep in mind later on. Yeah, big play from Sarget. 78 points for. That's one of the dangers of playing that. One of the dangers of playing Rim is to open up that triple in the top left. And down goes Ditz for 78. So it's giving Sargate a bit of a lead in this one, 110 points up now. And still with that QU. Yeah, it's just it's QU has value, but it's all about context. And on this board, the QU is just difficult to really use. One of those, do you kind of keep hold onto it? Because at a kind of school level play, you'll get more kind of prioritization towards high scoring value tiles, so like the Q, J, X, Z, and that kind of thing. The Z is a good tile at any level. The Q is only pretty useful if you get the U to go with it. But as you can see, even on this board, the QU isn't very much use. It's just awkward. So in the end, ditching that Q for 11 points. 99 points the difference now. It's quite a big lead. And better rack for Sargat. The E there. Let's see the unseen pool. We can move this up now because I don't have the chat blocking it. There we go. There we go. So Sargat plays Vel for 27. That's a nice player. I was mentioning that spot earlier. Yeah, Vel's nice. That's the kind of spot you'd want to be looking to play. And just trying different words to see what takes and what doesn't. It's one of the things with Void Challenge. You want to find and locate those places where you can score. And try different things. And as well as obviously score, you can also learn what 3-letter words are going to be allowed and what not. And Veld's pretty nice. 27. It's a bit of a commanding lead now, 126. Quick change of just one tile from Ayush. So Sargat with 2 P's, 2 H's. Again, one of those situations, if you try that H in different spots, you might find that Beth is indeed a word. And that'll give you a pretty easy score. And something like hap. Doesn't matter if you know hap or not, you can just try it. And we've got hip. So these are kind of things you'd want to try out. It's obviously dependent on how much time you've got. So thinking about, what does bet take? It's a little bit of a hotspot. So a hotspot's a good place to score, basically. And yeah, Beth. Something worth trying it. You never know. And that's the best way. I mean, that's how I learned words when I was playing. Ooh, 20 years or so ago on the university computers, college computers, and everything else. It's just trial and error, really. It's one of the best ways to learn words. So yeah, Beth. Also, one you might not think about, Veld. Actually takes a T. So that'll be another potentially useful thing for Sargat. I see Ayush going for that big scoring bonus. It's got that nice ing combination, but there is actually one here, ganglia. That'll be a super difficult word to find. But yeah, ganglia. You probably, when you're looking at a rack like this, you're probably focused on the ing, but it's quite difficult to kind of look away from that. But yeah, ganglia would be good. A pretty tough spot, but yeah. Then we'd get Ayush back in again. So ganglia comes from Greek. It's a group of nerve cells, basically. Ganglion. And again, I mean, let me think to look at. You've got A for our bet. So that gives you a bonus line where you can play a long word. lig is also a word. So, and when you're playing Void on ISC, you can always check words for yourself using the check command. It allows you to do this when you're playing Void games. So you can use the check command when it's not your turn. See whether words are good or not. So for instance, you might go through all the letters to see what letters you can add, put on the end of lie. So in the end, Irish just plays off the A. Ba. Reduce the lead to 244. Again, going for that bonus. That's 7-letter play. Good idea to get rid of one of the A's, certainly. We'd rather like to get rid of one of the G's as well. But as it happens, it's worth a try here. There's actually a couple of bonuses here. Again, definitely worth trying stuff with this rack, particularly with ing words, trying to see what fits. There's 2 7-letter words here, I think. Well, certainly one anyway. Yeah, they're both good. Well played. So Irish gets the first bonus of this game with goaling and bar. Down it goes for 77. Reduce the lead to 90 points. Another alternative is jailing. It's just the same word with A and O, swapped the other way around. Nicely played from Irish. So I get him back with Gorp for 30. So I get shown the value of just consistent scoring, really. Let's have a look at the list of moves so far. So as you can see, a lot of small scores from Irish, whereas so I get again lots of consistent 20s and 30s. Oh, nicely played. So Irish playing off the J for 18, burning that blank, and immediately hit back by Sorgat with porpoise. Very nice word, 95. And yeah, also doubled the P. The whole thing was tripled on the triple word score, so 95 points for that. And that's going to seal the game for Sorgat. You see the pool of unseen tiles on the right. Lots of E's to come. It's actually not a bad set of letters, but yeah, it's going to be difficult to do anyone. Actually, Irish has a nice 7-letter word here, very difficult word. One of those very kind of when players get older, they might kind of study for adult taunts and that kind of thing. And one of the high probability words which you'll come into fairly quickly is eatery. Eatery and lie. So that's one of the kind of high probability words. When you're studying nerd words, that'd be one of the ones that come up fairly early. But the most kind of useful words are really going to be short words, 3s and 4s, 2s, all that kind of thing. So Irish gets T down. Does open up the triple. Again, another one of those useful hooks. It's all about short word Scrabble, really. So Raj takes an A, Raja, and Jet takes an E, Jeet. So those are the kind of things that are going to, if you know those words, or even just try them, they're going to get you a lot of points, essentially. So that's a nice word from Sargat Curie. Nice 6-letter word. Let's have a look what that means. So Curie. Curia is a Latin word. It's a court of justice. So explains the AE plural. So that's a nice play. Using that triple word score again to get a decent score. 27 points. Sargat really showing the value of consistent scoring throughout. Lots of 20s and 30s throughout the game. So yeah, it's going to be a consistent, scoring consistently. It's going to, because most of the woos are not going to be about a bonus. It's going to be about scoring. So there we go, end the game, and Sargat wins comfortably, 485 to 268. Let's have a look elsewhere. Looks like pretty much everybody is playing now. Let's have a look at one of the Nepal players. This looks like a high-level game. Just coming towards the end of it. So Nepal on the right, India on the left. Again, it's all void, all 12-minute games. We'll have a look, just to see whether this is around 5 or around 6. Yeah, round 5 game. Again, sorry, you don't have live scores or updates or anything like that with the standings, but yeah, we're getting towards the end here. In fact, the bag is empty. Could still maybe pinch this with a Z. Z's going to be a pretty good score here somewhere. Arnav, yeah, not the greatest scene, as you can see for the pool. Arnav has 2 U's, 2 I's, ATE, whereas Amor has the Z for scoring. Should be able to get a reasonable score, but whether it'll be enough, I don't think so. It's going to be tough to catch up that 54-point difference. It's a lot to catch up, even with a Z. On this board, yeah, not very difficult. So a nice last move from Arnav of Ran. So one of the values of Ran was it blocked a big Z play from Amor with the Z. So if you take off An up top here, then Amor has Res in that same spot. So that's a good block, and well played from Arnav. So in the end, Amor can only score 40 with Raise in the bottom left corner. Does bridge the gap a little bit. Leads only 14 points now. And Amor with Lou, L-O-U, left behind. It's can Arnav score enough with his rack to absorb that kind of outplay? You would think Lou plays in a couple of places. You've got Lou here. That won't score much. It'll only be like 6 points, 7 points even for Lou there. Lou up here, there. Well, here really. So nice play from Amor. Arnav with Eat. Sorry, Eat takes out the high scoring outplay for Amor with Lou. It does create another one, but that extra points, that 15 points, should be enough just to kind of just clinch the win for Arnav here. Lou will still play with Leet underneath here. But it might be one of those situations where it's actually better to play out slowly. Certainly you're not going to win just by playing out immediately. The opponent's rack is so bad that they're really going to struggle to do anything. Interesting. They basically got... This is one of their better players just playing off you with Ugg for 6. But yeah, Taboo would be another spot to get rid of one of those eyes I use. You can see Unseen Pool, 2 eyes, 2 U's. So also you're trying to score as much as you can with 2 moves, but also kind of stop your opponent from scoring as well. It's going to be difficult though with those 3 tiles. I mean, the highest scoring outplay I can find is Lou, but it's not going to be enough. Nowhere near enough. We still lose by 12, I think, or thereabouts. So in the end, yeah, that makes sense. So you maximise the score by kind of milking your rack. There's no point just playing Lou immediately and losing. So yeah, play off the O, maximise the score with 16. Arnav has seen Ugg. This is where it's bridged the gap a little bit. It's down to 19 now, so a 13-point play would tie the game if it was an outplay. But I'm not seeing one. Yeah. If you would be ultra kind of sneaky and everything, you might play off your U first in that position to stop your opponent using it, but it looks like still at... and I'm just going to sneak this one. To say there's not really good spots for that LU. This is Yule. It's at 6. It's pretty much peanuts. Ulu. Jewel. All these kind of players. Not going to be enough. And it's going to be difficult even to just play off one tile at a time. There's another U spot, Taboo. So, yeah, it's going to be tricky. It's tricky to do anything. I don't see a good spot for the L. You've got a few places where the L plays, but yeah, it's not going to be much. Leet for 4 looks about as good as anything. And while you're playing off these tiles, of course, your opponent should be able to play off some of theirs. And yeah, it looks very difficult for Amor here. Looks like Arnav's going to pinch this one. In the end, let's have a look at the. Let's list the moves. See what the kind of fancy players in this one. What the big players were. Let me just shut that off. There we are. So you can see there, Amor. You're getting Defangs and Edifice. Looks like both blanks there for 91 and 74. Big players for them. But on the right, Arnav getting Isolate for 62, Picks for 61, Incited for 81. Just more consistent scoring. And in the end, it's just enough to win the game. Arnav wins 4-3-7 to 4-8. So well played. Have a look elsewhere. We'll have a look at another high-level game. So you get Arcana on the left, representing Nepal, and Ahana on the right, representing India. So pretty much towards the end here, the bag's empty, and yeah, we'll scroll that back down here. So it looks like Arcana's going to win this one. Nice play of gameplay. But that was gameplay for Ahana. Looks like another bonus, a couple of bonuses for Arcana, Taris and Formia. So just getting that extra bonus. Looks to be the difference in this one. But yeah, both bonuses pretty big scoring. Gameplay was 98. And Taris 65, Formia 90. So yeah, that looks to be the difference, that extra bonus. Again, it's about consistent scoring as much as you can. And it just seems to be the extra, getting extra kind of 20s and 30s. See lots of consistent scores from Arcana with 26, 23, 26, 65, 28, 36. But quite a nice scoring game. Over in 40 moves each so far, so averaging best part of 30 a move there, Arcana. So there we are, and that game finishes. Arcana wins 4-3-3 to 3-5-6. So it looks like most games are done for this round. We'll have a look at another. So this is a close one. Vishesh just playing Droop there in the bottom right corner. Their tiles in blue. Ooh, it's quite some nice, rather nice words in here, this one. So Vishesh playing Reticent, Residual. Droop there. I'll list the moves again. So yeah, some nice plays from Vishesh. And Naman getting Tipunas and Elogiums. Very nice. So a pretty quick game. Naman 38 points behind, as you can see in the tile pool. We're into the end game now. And not the greatest rec to really outrun your opponent. There's 2 I's, the D. It's going to help you get too big a score. You'd be looking at this bottom right corner. That's the only real place to score. Down goes Dit for Naman. Yeah. So Naman representing Nepal, and Vishesh representing India. So we've got Choir from Vishesh, quick 10 points, but it's going to be enough. Getting rid of that C. It's the only realistic way of losing was get stuck with that C, really. But Choir does that. It's going to get rid of the C. It means you got less points on your rec to lose at the end. If Naman couldn't go out here. So that should seal the game. 29 points difference. It's going to be very difficult to score anything major on this board. In goes down the bottom right. So Vishesh just needs to finish off with this R. There it goes. 418 to 395 the win. Looks like most of the round 5 games are done. We've just got a couple more at Bishwar. And this is a round 6, is it? Oh no, I was looking at the wrong spot. Oh, this is maybe not. Oh yeah, it's round 5, sorry. My bad. Okay, so Bishwar representing Nepal and Shreyas representing India. See, Bishwar got a bit of a lead here, 76 points. Have a look at the list of moves. So some nice players there from Bishwar. Punition and Tenders. Also Foxy for 39. And Shreyas hitting back with Pagels, which I think it means a daisy from memory. Need a look. Need to double check. I don't trust my memory. There's the cowslip apparently. It is a flower. The cowslip. You could have it without the I as well. So in the end, Shreyas just dumping off a couple of A's. Bishwar in very strong position. Also, as well as the scoreline, also has a big time bank advantage. 9.5 minutes to a minute and a half. Just playing off IT there. Shreyas. That's the QU combination, but again, it's going to be difficult to do too much with. But it could be a way back into this game. Just by getting a big SQU type of play, but trouble is this needs a 6-letter play. So it's a lot harder than hitting a 4 or 5-letter word. In the 6, you've got to get kind of all the stars aligning. There is another another person to area to play S's up here with Punition. So we'll see how that works out. Alright, so down goes Faye from Bishwar. She's just dumping off the W. It's gonna make the W is kind of gonna block that triple word line. So it's gonna be and not the great pick it out to V. Yeah, it's not what you want to see in this stage with the SQ. And time pressure certainly becoming a bigger and bigger factor. Nice score 20 from Bishwar. And Shreyas, yeah, gonna run right low on time. That's a nice play. Plays Equus. 33 points. Probably the best thing to do, really. Just get rid of the Q. It wasn't really going to score. I think maybe Sook and Phase is a little bit better, but that does take out your triple lane, so I don't know. So yeah, it's going to be very quick, this end game. Shreyas down to 7 seconds. If they get into the extra minute, if they drop down to 0, they'll get an extra minute, but it will cost them 10 points. Yeah, look at that pool of tiles. Bishwo has a lot of time to look. There are only 2 vowels unseen, and a lot of kind of clunky G's, M's, V, W, Z. So it's looking pretty good for Bishwo, even though their rec's not great, so the 2 U's. It's better to have a U's than no vowels at all. So in the end, plays bit, leaves 1 in the bag. And, ooh, wow. Big play from Shrez. Brings the lead down to 7 now. And but yeah, Shrez going to go over on time and gets stuck with the M, the V, the W. And that's probably going to be the difference. It's going to be difficult to get rid of those. Probably could have took a little bit longer with that move, but yeah, it looks pretty bleak. The V does play off, and I can see a couple of places to the W. Yeah, the V plays in a couple of places. You've got Rev. Yeah, and Vid. So the V's it's going to score, but so quick players back and forth. But 26-point lead. Bishwo just need to play out here, really, not mess about anymore. Daly just played curl at the top. And Shrez will be able to play off the V. There's Rev for 10, or Vid for 7. It shouldn't be enough to catch, but you never know, you might see it, and you might miss a big place the V goes, so that's why you want to rather play out. So in the end, Bishwo going for Red, maybe thinking they blocked all the V spots, but there is another one with Rev on the left. So is it harder to spot these, particularly over the board and online? It can be easy to miss those kind of things, but yeah, Shrez spots it. 3-7-1, though not enough. Bishwa wins with 3-8-7. 16-point win. It looks like we're getting on to round 6 now. So we'll catch one of those games. We didn't see much of Arcana last game. So Arcana and Amor. So Arcana represents Nepal, and Amor representing India. So early days in this one. Amor to play has some pretty ugly tiles. 3 eyes, not so good. Yeah, pretty tricky rack. Be looking to play off Hioi, which is a fun 4-letter word. So Hioi would be nice. It does play there, but only scores 13. I'd certainly be looking to play something like that off. Hoi's pretty good as well. It scores 21. Scores a bit more, does keep an extra eye, but he compensated with another 8 points. So yeah, Hoi does pretty much the same thing, just scores more points essentially. And it's pretty good defensively, much better defense than Hioi. So Amor 29 up. Arcana. It's a little bit awkward rec with the U's, the X. It's not the greatest rec for the X really. There's not a good kind of hot spots for it. That high players kind of blocked a lot of the kind of parallel plays where you could potentially get a good score for the X. Ooh, big pickup for Amor. So Amor has picked out the blank. First blank of the game, 5 points up, and gets the blank and has the S from last turn. So can Amor find any of the bones? It's going to be tough for this one. There's a few options, and yeah, well spotted. Bingies, or Bingies, goes down with Burkers. 72, big player, and 77-point lead for Amor now. Let's have a look what Bingies means. So it's Australian slang for the stomach. And Burkers, of course, as well. So that's a big early lead for Amor. Kana has the X, 2 U's still. Pretty clunky stuff. Has a good spot for the X though. Can hit the triple word. Something like Fax is going to do a lot of damage. And yeah, 52 points for that. So it closes the gap down to 25. Meanwhile, Ammo has picked out the Z. So I'd expect a big 30-point plus play from Ammo with that Z. So yeah, immediately Wiz goes down. Kind of re-establishes that big lead. 60 points the difference. Arcana still got those 2 U's. That's the thing. Whenever you don't play last term, whenever you keep, they're on the rack next game, next move. And there's still that problem with the 2 U's. It's not going away until you play them off. And yes, the U's are still kind of lingering around. It's difficult to really play them anywhere. It's a tricky one. The game's getting a little bit blocked now, a little bit blocked up with that Fax and Wiz. It's kind of taken out all the kind of floating tiles in bingies or bingies. So there's not really anywhere good to go. If you were going to exchange, I think this would be probably one of the times you'd try and do it, because you're not going to give much away. You exchange, your opponent can't really score anything, so you're not sacrificing many points here if you do exchange. There is that nice S hook swap at I2. So there's definitely some mileage in kind of changing some of the bad tiles here. If you don't change, what can you score on this board? It's pretty tough to really do anything. And the ways to score really are going to be bonuses, and you're already 60 behind, so yeah, might be kind of focused on getting one of those bonuses down. That'll be my kind of focus on this board, because you just can't really score unless it's a bonus. Or you have specific letters, so if you had the N, for instance, for up on, if you had up on and boho, which means bohemian, I think, you could get a reasonable score off that. But other than that, it's pretty tough. If you got a Y, you could be Abai, but there isn't really anything much you can do on this board. So I think it's perfectly reasonable to kind of exchange here. You could also just play Kerr, something like that. Kerr for 11. Just get rid of one of the U's. So there's a few things you could do, but yeah, I think exchange is perfectly reasonable here. And it goes for Nidus for 12. That's a nice play, but just leave C or U. And you've played off your S, which has a lot of value on this board. Because that swap spot for bonuses is just going to sit there all day, basically. It's going to just sit there until somebody gets a big play off it. Meanwhile, a quick reply of you, but Arcana has picked out that ON combination. So as I said, there is a nice little spot to play it underneath. So you could play Con or whatever. That'd be nice. I think there is actually a... Can you have uncloth? No, just uncloth. But yeah, boho. Just check what that means. I think it means bohemian. Boho. Yeah, short for bohemian. Didn't see that kind of tricky like N-O-N spot, but that's got second prize with lock, utilising the AA-L hook for 18. Does open the board up a little bit, in the respect that lock does take an E, so that's why it's a little bit more open. Without that E hook, it's pretty awkward to do anything. But yeah, that's one of those hooks you wouldn't really think about. So you can have an E on the end. An E on the end. And yeah, easy to overlook. And yeah, this would be a pretty stunning play if Hammer can find the bonus here. So yeah, well played. So Hammer finds Red Tail for 78. And now 127 up after that big play. Nicely spotted. Yes, Red Tail and Dilator. Trialed. I think Trailed is new, but I think only Red Tail fit on the board. So well played. So Red Tail, it's a kind of hawk, essentially. She's a bird of prey. And Arcana now staring at the deficit, 127 points. Basically, ammo double the score. So, yeah, with this wreck, cut, I think it's cut line, isn't it? I think this cut line cut tunicle, if I remember rightly. Yeah. But it doesn't look like any of those go on this board. So luck was good at opening that E-hook, but that's always the risk. You open something up, your opponent hits it. So yeah, line cut and lock, or loach, would have been available, but Red Tail goes down, messes that up. Now what? Are there any 8-letter bonuses through the letters? But yeah, kind of showing that their new cut line. Down goes cut line for a good 27 points. Gets rid of the U, which is certainly a big help. Yeah, it doesn't look like there are any bonuses available there. It's a 27-point play. Brings the lead down to 100, but ammo. Yeah, that's a pretty clunky wreck. We've got the G's, the V, the Q, some pretty ugly stuff. It's gonna be tricky to work the way out of that. Cat QAT does play on the T in Red Tail, but I wouldn't advise doing that. I'm having a look at the pool. There's some pretty nice tiles to come. There's another blank 2 S's. Loads of E's. We've not had many E's played so far, so loads of E's to come. So yeah, I'd quite happily change here. It's not really worth playing Cat for 12. You just leave really horrible tiles that just don't make it worthwhile. So yeah, I guess an alternative, you could do something like Gade, which is 22. That would be more worthwhile. In the end, just goes for Vag for 14. Does leave that A behind, but also leaves the Q behind, and the G is a little bit ugly. But yeah, it's not too bad, but I think I prefer changing, but perfectly reasonable. It does shut the ball down pretty well. Just that E really in the final column 15, and that swap hook in column 2. Although Vag does create another S hook, Vag does take the S, so as well as an I as well. So plenty of options there, but apart from the triple, a bonus onto the E and cut line, anything else is probably going to give some kind of counterplay back. So I kind of just plays off the E for 16 points, cashes it in, keeping that lead about the 100 mark. I'm still seeing that Q. And the other thing with Vag is it kind of closed down the place to play that Q. You can't play Cat anymore. You can't play, if you pick out an I, you can't play QIN. Although QI and Vaggy would still be available, but it's going to be difficult to get rid of that Q. It's just not a good tile anyway, but particularly on this board, it's a bit of a millstone to carry that Q around. Say time ticking down. Still plenty of time for both players here. I'm on it, getting down to about halfway now. The original 12 minutes. Arcana, nearly 5 minutes. Plenty of time to go to get through the rest of the game. Yeah, I do think this probably isn't the time to change with this one. There's probably enough moves here for Amor to kind of work through this rack. And something like Aged, for instance, you can get a good. That would be a good play for 28. That'd be a really amazing play. It does leave the queue, but you get 28 points. Easily worth it. Something like that. And there's IU as well, which could come in useful. Something above there. You don't really want to play something here. That would open up the next lane. So Ammo's gone for kind of blocking and gone for goal in that bottom right corner. So that blocks a lot of the potential for bonuses. But yeah, that wreck is kind of nice play. So Ammo plays Caddy and IU. So that was well spotted for Ammo. That's probably going to be enough now. That's probably, yeah, 139 the difference. Arcana changed. That's a crucial little spot from Ammo. Getting that Caddy play. Spotting the RU. Easy to overlook that spot for the Q. You're having to thread it through the YU play as well. Easy to overlook that. It's a very big play for Ammo. It's not just 34 points. Getting rid of the Q is massive. Going to help their wreck a lot more than just the score. So, yeah. It's going to be very difficult to close this margin down. There's still this swap line for bonuses, but this board is pretty blocked now. It's almost impossible to block this swap spot unless you get the S or blank yourself. As I say, there is this little the only way you could really block it indirectly is doing something like that. That's a very tough play. You could just Uphorn and Boho. That would be a way of indirectly blocking it. It restricts it a little bit. Obviously, bonuses ending in S is still going to play, but it does restrict it a little. And Arcana has both S's on their rack. Oon is a little bit dangerous. It does open up another bonus lane. It's not very easy to hit from A15, but it is possible. You got I or N endings. Something could go down there, or even just kind of more face value bonuses through the N. There is the only other place to bonus, probably onto that R, realistically. In Burkers. Come down here. Onto the R. Arcana is going to need 2 bonuses here. There is that blank to come as well. It's a pretty good wreck. Just, yeah, not quite. I don't think there's anything here. Just the N. Just in the wrong place for spanners. I would have tried to leave that area alone just to give yourself another place to bonus. Peon kind of blocks that. But yeah, not many places to go really on this board to score. It's all pretty dead. And Peon does narrow the gap to 117. Hammer, that's the V. Which could be pretty useful for blocking, but there's not really much left to block on this board. I guess you could try and block that R in Burkers. It's one of the other places to bonus. Could try and score your way out of trouble with the player down this column. But, in the end, just dumps off an E. And Arcana. Yeah, that was a problem with getting rid of... Being a little bit unlucky not draw another E. There's so many E's to come, but after Peon, got a little bit duplicates. Duplicates problem with the 2 R's there. If you've got 2 R's and no E, it's going to be very difficult to get anything down. So, probably looking to play off of the R. You could score here with the S, making Swizz. But that would block your R for bonuses in there. But as you see with this rack, when you've got 2 R's on your rack, it's going to be very difficult to use that. So you end that kind of just going to play off a load of tiles with Sura for 10. Maybe going for that blank, which is still there, unseen so far. There's a bit of scoring potential with this rack. I've probably gone for Joe on the top right. Could have played something like Jiver, and that would have took out one of the remaining bonus lanes. But just gone for Joe in the end. 22 points. That's a good score. And I kind of managed to pick out another 2 R's after Sura. That's got the blank. It's a case of, do they have any bonuses? So swap is there, but just goes for minors in the end. Yeah, it's not really worth playing. It's a little bit, maybe a little bit frustrated. Minors, burning the blank for 18. You want to keep that blank, get a bit more value out of it. If you're getting the blank, you want to score more than 18. You want to really, you want to be upgrading your score by 25, 30 points. Most of the time, you're gonna means you just keep all of it until you get a bonus, basically. But it'll be worth it sometimes if you've got the Q. You know, instead of playing off QI for 11, you might get a bigger Q player for 40, that kind of thing. Or a bigger Q player for 40, 50, whatever. Those are the kind of times you want to really use your blank. Minors was a little bit of a waste, but it's going to be very difficult for Arcana anyway. But yeah, I'm sure I'm always very happy to see minors go down. Just get the 18 and take out that last, well, one of the last big bonus lines. This is going to be a comfortable victory now for ammo. The bag is empty. The wreck is not great, but the board is pretty much dead. So it's just going to be a case of slowly playing off these tiles. It's going to be very difficult. It's going to be very difficult to get rid of all these tiles, actually. Yeah, it's going to be difficult. I think I'd give Arcana the favourite to play their tiles off first. They can play off a bunch of tiles with something like Learner or Leaner. Meanwhile, Ammo is sitting there with 3 T's and a G, so it's going to be very slow playing those off. So down goes FF for Ammo. Yeah, Learner goes down, so it looks like Arcana is going to get that out, but comfortable victory for Ammo in the end. Once we get through these last few tiles. Just going to play off, I think. Even now, there's not really much you can play off T or I think that's pretty much it, to be honest. Really kind of limited with those 3 T's and a G. Very kind of limiting. So yeah, Red Tail was probably the main one in this game. Just plays tag, and that's for 4. Just get rid of the G, so it's less to come off your rack. But there we go. In the end, Ammo wins 414 to 268. Comfortable victory in the end. Have a look elsewhere. We've still got some games going on. Have a quick look at this one. Ab versus Shiraz. Let's have a look at the big players in this one. So Abhim has Donates for 74 and Unravel for Shiraz. Fixive, nice word. Fixive, Icicle, and EEEW. Well, that's some good Scrabble words there. Some fun Scrabble tile dumps and whatnot. It's 2 C's, 3 E's. So yeah, very nice stuff from Shiraz. So Abhim with Paul for 18. Does narrow the gap a little bit. 22. But Shiraz with a blank. Should be enough insurance to be able to win with that, you would think. So even with 3 I's and 2 R's, it's not the greatest wreck, but the blank kind of at least gives you something a little bit better to work with. A bit more flexibility. Abhim should be able to get a bit of score with that wreck. Interesting. So Shiraz plays TI at 10. Does open up the triple. That's a little bit dangerous. Although as you can see, Abhim doesn't have the letters to really do too much with it. Mostly like 1-pointers. Just the D. It's got a little bit more, but it's a little bit dangerous. So something like Darn or Nard. Nard works. And that leaves IN. So IN's going to go score a fair bit with QIN, or just IN here as well. So Shreyas just needs a little bit careful here. Has a 14-point lead. Just needs to score enough to see this one out. Probably the time to use that blank. See what you can do with that. Yeah, I mean, IN is going to score 13 down here. 15 up there, so just needs to keep that in mind. As long as they play a few tiles off here, score 10, 15 or so, it should be enough. And definitely don't go over on time. Getting down to the last minute here before. If Shreyas would go over on time, then yeah, that would certainly make things pretty tight. That would, yeah, that 10-point penalty could be crucial. So Shreyas just needs to get something down here. As I say, it should be enough. As long as it scores a few points. Oh, rip for 5. Is that going to be enough? Even that, I think, will just be enough. I think that'll just be enough. 3, 6, 9. Oh, no, it could tie the game. If IN goes down and QIN, that's going to tie the game. Ooh. Ooh, that'd be a bit of a steal for Abhim. Can they spot to QIN and in from 12A? If they do, it's going to tie the game. We'll have a draw. Not had one of those for a while on stream. Let's say this is round 6 game. And yeah, 2 more to go after this. So yeah, Abhim is representing Nepal. Oh no, missed it. Didn't see the QIN at the top right. Wow. Could have tied the game with that, but Shreyas takes it by 8 points in the end, 373 to 365. So India winning out on that one. Let's have a look elsewhere. We've got lots of games going on. Looks like we're into round 7 here. Nice play of N Surfs from Arcana. Just give me 1 sec. So N Surfs, lovely player from Arcana. A nice 3-way overlap as well. We'll swap over to one of the other games once they get started with Arnav or people obviously disconnecting, reconnecting, everything else. Daywick. It's a new name for us to watch. Daywick. It's a pretty good wreck here, and yeah, down goes Negroids for 90. In the double-double, very nice spot. And sevens is like redoing, ignored, grind, that kind of thing. But yeah, getting the maximum value there with the double-double. And putting the pressure back on Arcana. There's a lot of clunky stuff there with the X. The X could score, and you could players like Wox looking pre-inviting. Underneath. Pretty limiting with that rack. I mean, you're not going to get much more than the 3-letter word with this rack. Pretty restrictive. So, yeah, we don't have an update with how the individual standings are going. So, yeah, the format is basically, from what I can see, is 15 players teams. And so this is like, there's 8 rounds today. Next week on the Sunday, the last 7 rounds. So yeah, Wox goes down as expected. So a nice play for 37 points. And gives Arcana lead. Derwick, it's 12 down, but it's pretty much 50-50 game as things stand. See from the ratings in brackets, pretty well matched in terms of the rating. There was Emo from Derwick, 25 points. There's a nice kind of overlap there. Nice underlap. Going to keep things pretty tight as well. Arcana. That's picked up pretty well to that after that Wox play. It's got an S and an E now to work with. So, getting a lot more options now. The K is going to give him some scoring potential, certainly. Yeah, there's one kind of big hotspot there with the I. So something like Kith for 39. That looks very strong option. Not even Keth, but certainly Kith in that little spot. That looks the place to go. And that'd be a pretty good thing to spot. So yeah, well played. Kith goes down 39. And 26 points the difference. Derwick Rack has degenerated a little bit, but gets down Joel. Keeps in touch with the scores, but yeah, we saw a lot of vowels kept by Derwick there. The duplicates. Arcana. I picked out 2. Got the V now after that play of Kith. So a little bit more rack management to go with this one. Play of one problem, another one arises. Yeah, that V's pretty awkward. Basically because I kept the U behind last time, so that UV combination, pretty awkward. There's a nice play of E-Rov, which would solve a lot of the issues, but that would open up a little bit. But this line is pretty open for bonuses anyway. But that would kind of solve a lot of the problems. Yeah, Ever, just kind of similar thing, but just keep the U back. Nice quick play from Derwick. Moolah, lovely overlap. 35 points, giving Derwick the lead now. Arcana, there's a problem. You do keep the U behind, you can get another one. It makes it even worse, but nice play of Doug for 30 in that top right. Quick reply from Derwick, rated. Opened up that bottom triple lanes on either side now. And yeah, Arcana's rack 4 point behind, but the rack's degenerating pretty quickly here. Now I've got 2 C's. 2 U's, not a nice combination. So going to be tricky to get rid of some of that. I think we could be looking at an exchange here. Derwick doing a good job of playing them. It was pretty fast. Only used 2 minutes of the original 12 minutes time, so could come to fruition later on. A bit of time pressure gives Derwick plenty of time to work out moves later on, and also put a bit of pressure on Arcana. So yeah, difficult to do anything with this one. Just the two U's, 2 C's. Yeah. Let's have a look at the unseen. Unseen tiles. Pretty well balanced. Yeah, in the end, Arcana's gone for a blocky play, but I don't think it was worth it. And a quick change from Derwick as well. Had a pretty good rack, but changed. And now the quick... Yeah, Arcana should have changed the first time, I think. Wasn't really worth persisting with 2 U's and a C. And quick players. Derwick going for that bonus. Well, both players all out for that bonus. It's going to be difficult because it's all about who gets the first bonus, because if you do get a bonus on this board, it's going to be down here as things stand. It's going to be down in this lane. And whoever gets that first bonus is going to be a huge favourite, because there's nothing else to go with. This board, it's pretty much all closed down in that bottom right corner now. So if it were me, I might look to try and score my way ahead. Arcana could certainly go that route. Try and score here and block the bonuses. But it's gone for kind of balancing the wreck and trying to get their own bonus. Goes with in for 4 points. Just levels the scores, but yeah, it'd be interesting to see who wants to try and score, get their noses in front with scoring short players. But both players gone all out for a bonus here. Then a play of 8 from Daywick. Let's create another bonus lane now. So 8, you can put an R on the end, so kind of does that with her. Scores pretty well and bounces the wreck too. But it's still going to be open to bonuses. Daywick now, sitting with lots of 7s here. Whether they'll play is another matter. So there's Taurine, Urinate, Ruinate. None of those play. I don't think there's anything through that R. So in the end, just dumps off the U again. That does kind of block that area somewhat. Oh wow. So Arcana be rewarded with that play of her with the blank now. And that UH play has actually created an opening for Arcana. So the P will play on UH if they need to go on that. But yeah, gone for, I think that's better to use that bottom right corner. That is probably going to be more accessible, more useful for Daywick. So Resprang goes down, nicely split, nicely played. At 83 points, and now it's a bit of a lead now. Over 90 points up, 93 the difference. Daywick in trouble here. And this could kind of snowball quite quickly here. Daywick has inertia, but it just doesn't play. There's no way to play their bonuses, so yeah, just plays off the eye, but it's not really opening the board up for your wreck. So it's all good having these bonusy wrecks, but if you've got nowhere to play them, then that doesn't really help, does it? So kind of doing the right thing, scoring. That does actually open up something for Daywick, potentially. Does create a T, floating T, but the main thing is the trouble with that player is if Daywick could get a bonus through this T, could potentially open up another bonus, like bonus lanes on both sides. So if you play, you could get a bonus through here. After a play through here, you'd have bonuses playing up here, and you'd have bonuses through all these floating tiles. So that would be the danger. You could very quickly go out of control, and with the blank to come as well, you could easily get hit by 2 bonuses back to back, but as I say, it looks like it's going to be safe. But what this will do is it'll also allow, in Daywick's perspective, is they can play something like that, and it would create up bonus lanes in both columns. To play through here, it would open up that, and also this way, but I just played off the eye, so there's still an outside chance of 2 bonuses, but oh wow, oh, that was a mistake. Oh dear. So yeah, there were 10 in the bag. What Arcana really should have looked at a little bit harder there was with yeah, Tint Tornia goes down, and all of a sudden, game on. Yeah, you did not want to open up a triple like that. That was a mistake, and it also left 8 in the bag, which means Arcana doesn't know exactly what Daywick has now. If Arcana could have played off more tiles, they could have created a situation where Daywick cannot possibly get 2 bonuses. If Arcana left 6 or less in the bag, then Daywick could only get 1 bonus. But that's a good play it took. Yeah, and I kind of needed to get rid of that queue. And that's a nice play. Gets 28 points, 50-point lead, and now Daywick is faced with a problem. Needs to bonus here to win. Otherwise, it looks like Arcana has scored just enough to outrun. So does Daywick have a bonus? There's plenty of time to look. Try and find one of those elusive bonuses here. It doesn't look the best rack. With the C and the V, it's pretty awkward. I'm not seeing anything myself. Yeah, it doesn't look productive. There are going to be scores onto that triple, but it doesn't look like they're going to be enough to catch up. Yeah, Arcana should be able to go out next turn with tilt. Simply tilt here with wet, or tilt either side here. So you'd think Daywick, whatever the player here, it's going to be their last move in the match. So it really needs to be a bonus, but yeah, it looks unlikely. It looks pretty unlikely with that lot. So it looks like Tuck is going to be enough for Arcana. And yeah, made a little bit of a mistake with DE. Gave Daywick a shot to get back in this one, but Tuck should be enough, and kind of rectified that mistake. Yeah, I just can't see a way for Daywick to win here. It just looks... So it needs to be a bonus, and there isn't one. So Daywick just goes with Novas, and here Arcana just needs to play tilt in numerous spots, and that's going to be enough to seal them in. Oh, gone for QI instead. Okay. I think tilt would be better, but QI will be enough as well. Tilt, not giving your opponent the chance to play off their CA and score another 12, and then catch you with 6 on your rack, that kind of thing. But QI was enough. So Arcana wins that one, 449 to 424. Let's have a look elsewhere. So, tight game here between DK Kamath and Arnav. So Kamath to play, 20 points down, representing India. Quite an open board, but a little bit of staircasing as well. It's kind of spread out well, but kind of blocky as well. It's kind of... So it's going to be difficult to get anything big down on this one. Oh, but there is... Kamath does have Siltia. That'll be a tough spot in that bottom lane with Laws. So there is a bonus here, but yeah, it's a tricky one. Looks to be the only real place to get a bonus down on this board, realistically. 20 points down. Let's have a look at the list of moves. Yeah, in the end, has played light. So Kamath getting 80 for Cheetah early on, move 5. No bonuses for Arnav, just consistent scoring. And so a nice quick play from Arnav edit, but it does open up another place to bonus potentially. Kamath, interesting move, gone for redid, keeping that MZ behind, so maybe going for a big score with that Z. With redid, maybe hoping to draw Moz or something like that. Get a big play with that Z in that C3 spot. See if Arnav will block that or elsewhere. Arnav has just got the 3 A's here. You see for the ratings, Arnav will be a little bit of a favourite in terms of ratings, but see, anything can happen in Scrabble. And yeah, not very nice tiles left. So at this stage, you're probably looking at the tiles pool and thinking maybe the Z or J or big Y players, that kind of thing, might be a bigger threat than a bonus. Down goes VAR from Arnav for 12, that top right. Didn't help. Did actually block Moz for Kamath. Kamath just dumps the M there. 28 points in it. Still has the Z for next turn. And has the 2 N's, a couple of A's. Plays Fan for 15. And that extends the lead to 43. Kamath got the Z, the Y. There's a bit of scoring potential, but it's going to be difficult to catch up that lead. It's going to be very difficult. There are some decent scoring players with this Z though. You'd have to use the S. So something like Sizey for 43 might give Kamath a shot. It would equalise the scores. But you would think the opening up the triple underneath would give plenty back for Arnav, and they would be able to get through it. But yeah, there are scores with that Z available. Difficult ones to spot. I'd also use the Y here, but again, it's a similar problem. It's going to open up the triple. We've got a reconnection, disconnection rather. So we're back on that one. Let's have a look at elsewhere. Let's have a look at the Sargat winning that one comfortably for Nepal. Some nice early plays, Axes and Jimp. We'll have a look around. Sian winning that one comfortably for India against Abhinyu. Looks like we got Arman back. So nice players. Studies, Midtowns, that's nice. Benzol from Sian. I guess I'll look elsewhere. So it's Surgeon, Irish. Nice Vitreous player from Surgeon, very nice. Amastan. Nakshatra. Nakshatra getting, looks like Naivist, and Ibidem. That's a nice word. And yeah, looks. Oh, sorry, that is Anastan getting Naivist. So yeah, Anastan getting a Naivist. Lots of consistent players from Nakshatra. Buddy for 49. Highlight Nixa 42. Let's drop back to Arnav, see how this game plays out. So yeah, so we were at the point where Oyu was played. Yeah, I was saying that I was going to give back a lot of scoring options, and sure enough, Arnav hit back with Japan 55. So going to see a little win for Arnav. It's a big Japan player. Managed to eke that one out without a bonus. So yeah, that's going to be a win for Nepal. So let's have a look elsewhere. So yeah, it says Sargat win this one comfortably, but Amor has the blank. And down goes Staren, 68, nice play. Sargat also has the blank, representing Nepal. It's going to be tricky to use much of it at the moment with all that WHV combination. Not the great for using the blank with, but there's certainly some scoring options. Interesting to see what Sargat goes with here. Could put an S on Steren. Obviously that would burn the blank though. You'd also get nice overlap and underlaps with Howl. Howl would play in lots of places. In the end, just goes for Evo for 18. Oh, Amor. Pretty good follow-up rec. I don't think there's any bonuses, but it's pretty good. That's got the S for Steren. So, nice play. I didn't see that. Grek Eyes for 74. Amor plays that. That's a big score, and that puts from nowhere Amor back-to-back bonuses. And Sargat has the blank, but no vowels. So that's the problem with Evo. It didn't really block the board in any way. It didn't score much. That was the risk that Amor would pick up another follow-up move, and yeah, Grek Eyes goes down 74. And yeah, what does Sargat do now? There's that eye to work with, something like white, but that would open up a lot. So in the end, Sargat maybe a little bit too defensive there, just playing off the H. Needs to play off more tiles there. With no vowels, you want to play off more tiles, and there's plenty of players that did that. Sargat does lead 6 points, but another good follow-up rack from Amor. So There'd be a nice play of Ziff here. That'd be fantastic. With faxes and Ziff. That would be a big, in the context of the game, big score 43. That'd be pretty devastating. Still has the S. Draw another S after Greg Eyes with Sterain, so I could score with that too. Simple play of Niz, 28. So it has a few scoring options here. Could just play something simple like Phase, 36. Plenty of options here. All going to do a fair bit of damage, you would think. Yeah, just goes for Fez for 25. I'd like to see a little bit more score with Fizz or something like that, but Fizz is pretty good still, 25 points. Yes, Sarget needs to play off more tiles. Needs to play off more tiles with that rack. There's a last turn with H high, just dumping off the edge. This is the problem. If you don't play off more tiles, you still have no vowels most of the time, and you're still very restricted. Interesting to see what Sarget does. I'd like to see something playing off more tiles here. A little bit restricted now with the 2 L's, the 2 G's. It's not the greatest. Let's have a look at the unseen pool. Slightly constant heavy pool, but not overly so. So another alternative could be just to change. Changing would be perfectly reasonable, but then you'd be pretty much going all out for a bonus if you do change. With 19 points down, you change, and then they get another move. Probably make it 39, 45 point difference. You're kind of chasing the bonus at that point. Ooh. So down goes change, but Ammo does have a bonus through the... has 2 bonuses through the O, in fact. Down goes Felonies. Nicely played for 62. The alternative is Olafines. But Felonies 62, and that's going to be pretty devastating. So 3 bonuses in... is it 4 moves? Yeah, 3 bonuses and 4 moves from Ammo. Let's swoon this game right round. Let's have a look at all those moves there. So Sarget with... doesn't get a bonus yet, just been getting big scores with the X and the J. But, yeah. So it's going to be difficult for Sarget. This board is pretty much blocked, so it needs to manufacture an opening somehow to get that bonus down. There is an outside chance of a bonus through here, I guess. It'd be pretty difficult, but strange things happen. But yeah, that looks pretty hard. The best way of opening would have been to play something underneath here with an A or an O, but I think all the A's are gone, so I'll play something like cow, for instance, then open up that triple N. But you can only play with what letters you got. So Socket plays pi off. So that's a nice little spot. Spots the little spot for the H on the triple letter. And you can ahi, snuck in HE. So yeah, that's a nice little spot. 30 points, and it keeps extending that lead to a point where it's nearly 100 difference now. 97 the difference, and even a bonus probably wouldn't be enough for Sarget to catch up. Can open up with this this one. There are players here with clicking X's. So you got taxes, waxes, rexes, sexes, all these things you can use to open up the board, so you can get a bonus down. You'd also play something down here like twin, but that would be easier to kind of counter. But it would do a good job of opening another line. Sarget needs to do something here. try and have something somewhere to get a bonus down. Try and bridge that big gap. Could score with just dumping off the S, but at this stage, Sargat needs a bonus. So plays like Rit for 22. Just create an R floater. It's not the greatest because there's only one E to come. So you're basically looking for words ending in ER or IER, that kind of thing. ERS. But it does open up another lane. The tiles in the pool on the right look pretty unfriendly. So it's looking awkward, certainly. So yeah, it's looking difficult. You need to make a play like that. Play like that to open up more the board. And you've also got players down here, which will do similar. But it's easier to kind of block that and also get a score in the process. Now to open up sits or sight. But it's pretty easy to kind of like that. I've gone for snit, but again, it doesn't really open anything up in terms of bonusing, because hips, there's nothing that's going to go on the end of that. So it's going to be difficult for... it's a nice player, 20 points, a nice score, but yeah, it's not going to help to kind of get that bonus, which Sargat needs. So yeah, just do a nice little slot in there. That's beautiful. Doit and Sind for 32 from Ammo. Lovely little slot in player. So again, it's just kind of extending that lead, just pushing the lead further and further away from Sargat. So even a bonus just doesn't. It's not going to be enough. So yeah, nice turnaround. So 3 bonus and 4 moves. Strain, Grek Eyes, and Felonies. Going to be the difference maker in this game. Swung a game away from a game that looked almost dead and buried over 100 behind to taking the lead and just eking away with lots of consistent scores. So a nice player, Grow Ramo. Not too big a risk of giving Sargat a bonus. Looking at the unseen, so yeah, just increasing that spread, that margin of victory all the time. Nicely played. So just to bring an update to later on today, from 2 o'clock UK time, so just over 3 hours from now. We're going to have Pakistan versus Canada, and that's going to be a full match between the two full international adult sides, or children, depending on if they've got any youths playing. But yeah, the full teams from both countries. Pakistan, I know Pakistan will be a lot of youth players on that side, and Canada probably more adults. But yeah, it's just the best players from both sides. 10 players, 10 best players from both nations taking each other on. And that'll be 2 p.m, so just over 3 hours' time. And so there'll be 10 rounds, 10 games, so there'll be 5 games, break, another 5 games. So it'll be about 6 or 7 hours of streaming that one, including the lunch break. So catch that in just under 3 hours, just over 3 hours' time. Should be a good match. So Pakistan doing very well of late in national matches. So we'll see if we can carry on that run. I remember they trounced the UK a couple of weeks back, and they've been doing well in the Virtual World Cup, so we'll have to see if Pakistan can carry on their good run. But who knows? Scrabble, fickle game, all sorts of things are possible. So yeah, It looks like ammo just sealing this one in. Still early for me. Coming up to 11 o'clock in the UK. So yeah, I don't see them. I think both players could be stuck here. I don't think they're going to be able to play out. Stargate doesn't want to run out of time. They're going to lose anyway, but it's nice not to forfeit on time. But well, there it is. So that's a win for Ammo. So we look elsewhere. Enough. So let's have a look. Is this a round 7 or round 8? Oh no, it's a different game altogether. I think, yeah. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong one, sorry. Yeah, it says a round 8, yeah. So, nice play of Unlaid. Ishita on 13 and Arnav on 63. Shita just playing off the D there for 6 points. Let's have a look elsewhere. We've got Kana and Kamath. Oh, looks pretty one-sided. Kamath running away with this one. Let's have a look at the list of moves. So Kamath getting pawners for 90s. That's a huge play, 98. Getting lots of 30s and 40s as well. So yeah, it looks pretty bleak for Arcana and the pawn in that one. Let's have a look elsewhere. So we're just dying this one, and Sorgat and Derwick. So what? Sorgat representing Nepal, and Derwick representing India. And so this is round 8 match. So round 8 is the last game before everybody packs up the sets for the week. They'll be back again on next week. Play the remainder games on Sunday. Another 7 rounds. So it's 8 rounds today and 7 more tomorrow. And I'm sure we'll have all the latest scores and standings and everything. See how people are getting on. So nice player Pout is there for Derwick. Lovely play. Natural bonus. No blanks used. So that's an early 100-point lead for Derwick. But Sorgat does have a blank. Doesn't look like they could do too much with that, but gets down Mope for 24, taking out the triple. And Derwick, quick reply of O for 26. And yeah, so I got been a little bit unlucky, not drawn any vowels to that that blank. It does have an S, but yeah, not a good board to play off. Where to have no vowels with. Not really anywhere to go. I don't really like playing off the G, so I could have played off both L's there. Also gives them more chance of getting a vowel. Also, 2 L's, much worse than a G. And you're also kind of delaying the inevitable here. So yeah, you end up scoring 8 points on one move, then changing. So you've only scored 8 over 2 moves. You could have just changed straight away, and you're probably going to get a bonus on this move, or maybe not with that. But yeah, you're just kind of delaying the inevitable, and you're kind of stretching your scores out very thinly. So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, not a great pickup though. After that change, Derwick just getting goved down, so getting rid of that U and V combination very nicely. So Derwick has picked out pretty horrible stuff, but that's a nice play. Usurus for 71. Very nice play from Sorgat. So Ushuri from that kind of word. Let's have a look what that means. So Ushuri, the lending of money at an exorbitant interest rate. Usurus, very nice. So let's sort out that rack really well. And Derwick just ticks out that triple. Getting Pung for 27. And Sorgat playing Tattoo for 6. Onto the U. Not a lot on offer with that one. And Derwick Not a bad rack. Got that nice CH combination. And has some flaws to work with tattoo, but yeah, just plays off char for 18. Kind of blocks that nice 7 lane. And so I get a couple of A's, a couple of I's. Does have the blank, so there's a big pickup, but not much to go with it with a Y. So in the end, just plays off tie. Does keep 2 A's back, so it's 2 A's IY. It's not a very nice combination. So yeah, need to play off more vowel-y stuff there, really. Derwick met with rat, kind of blocking the board a little bit here, which is to their advantage, obviously. There's a nearly a 90-point lead. So I get just again playing off one tile. Oh, nice pickup though. Nice rack for Derwick. Oh, had regional and geranial for the G there. Just needed to have a look a little bit harder at that one. Might have seen regional, certainly. Oh, another good rack. They're going to have a good look for the bonus now. Derwick, yeah, down goes dealing. So well played. Missed the bonus last time, but got it this time. 83 points. A long way back for Sorget. Even with a blank. This board's dying a death. This really needs to open up that bottom somehow. Just takes the score with AY, but Derwick playing pretty quick. Both rushing through this game very quickly. So as I say, it's the last round of the day for these players. So Sorget, the J, the V, just plays off J-O. Derwick, 130 up, has the Q, which isn't really the kind of letter you want in this stage, but can get rid of it with QIN here, but with 10, but yeah, that would be pretty, that leaves this huge line underneath. I think you'd probably want to play here first. Let's have a look. There's plenty more ice to come. There's a U in the bag as well, and a blank. So yeah, it makes sense to play there first. They died. I think it left QIM, so they're going to have that QI in play later on. And died just makes, if they do get a bonus, it's got to end in S. And it makes it much harder to access. So yeah, that's a good play, I think. And I say, making it, if they do get a bonus, it's got to end in S, and it's only going to be a double. It's not going to be a double-double. So it's going to be less scoring. So yeah, I think that's the right play. And so I get still with that blank. And yeah, tricky letters. V. Should be able to open with something like Lav or Rav. There are 2 L's to come, no R's, so you'd certainly want to get rid of an L here. You'd certainly prefer Lav. It does open up, if you play a Lav there, it does open up lots of hooks for the triple. So Div in the end, Div takes loads of hooks. And it's going to be probably going to be a bonus pretty soon. And yeah, it has picked out the S as well. So you'd think the bonus is going to come down here from Zorget. Would almost be tempted to use this spot. If I could. So something like Antlers. Because this is easier to access. If you play here, it's like if you play, say you play Antlers down there, they play underneath. Now, where do you bonus? There aren't any S's to come, so you can't bonus on here. If you play there, that stays open. So I'd have probably played up here, but it depends what you play. If you play something in the right mode, the right kind of, the right pattern, there's potential for getting bonuses like above and below, but yeah, I don't know. I think I prefer playing above, but also there's more potential of a huge score here, whereas where you get like the Q or the Z without a bonus or with a bonus, and you get 100 odd points because it's got the Z in or whatever. But yeah, I think that QI has pretty much sealed the game for Deerwick. 123 up. That should be enough. So let's have a look. Have a look around, see if we can find some more round 8 games. So drawn to a close for. So Arnav winning comfortably there. With let's have a look at the list of words. My bad. So yeah, it's quite a long long game. Arnav with leafiest there. And spewing facts 41 for Ishita. Elsewhere, now an Arya. So that, yeah, this is a round 8 game. We'll watch a bit of this. So Naman representing Nepal, and Arya representing India. There's some nice players there with planners, extension of Lanners. Nice. Lanners and so let's have a look at the list of moves. So Arya getting Lanners for 86, giving that border size lead. But Naman has a blank here and an S, so plenty of potential to come back. Orb was going to take an S, but there's another one here as well. Vo takes an E, Evo. So there's a couple of places to bonus. And Ket, that's going to take an E and an S. And an O, we've got an O. So plenty of potential for a bonus there too. Looks like we've had a disconnect. And it's the comeback. Be back soon, I'm sure. Yeah, there we go. We're back. So Arya, 55 up. There's the UV combination, which is pretty ugly. There's quite a hidden hook here. You can actually put a V on the end of that. Erev and Devor. That would be a lovely move, but yeah, very difficult to spot that because it changes the kind of the pronunciation of the word, so it's much harder to kind of spot a hook like Erev. I mean, you think about putting an S on the end and a D maybe, but you don't think about putting the V there. It's just kind of weird looking shape for a word. But yeah, something like Vor would be good. But failing that, it's going to be tricky because there's not really much on this board. It's pretty awkward. Be looking to get rid of the VU, certainly. But that's easier said than done. Yeah, it doesn't see a really good player without using that Erev hook. Yeah, difficult. I guess the next thing would be something like Vav or Viva. But, yeah. Not great options, really. You'll almost want to change if you can't kind of see that Erev hook. I mean, getting rid of the V and the U and one of the A is going to be pretty strong. I think certainly Viva is probably worth playing over exchanging because the Evo hook, kind of obscuring that, it's going to have a bit of value. And you can play Viva to the left. Also takes a T as well, but you could keep that T back and use it yourself later on. But I think probably Viva would be pretty nice. As I say, it does kind of obscure. Evo. So yeah, both players kind of doing fine with time, really. No real time pressure at the moment. No man on 7.5 minutes. Arya come down to 6 minutes, but it's still only half the original time, that 12 minutes. And look at the unseen pool. Fairly well balanced, really. Reminder that ISC counts Ys as vowels, when they're not really the consonants, but so it's actually a little bit more consonant heavy than it looks, but yeah, it's not really a big factor yet. But that does make something like, as they're playing, it does make this extra strong. This 2 vowel, 2 consonants. Usually 2 vowels and 2 consonants would be a little bit slightly vowel heavy. But yeah, in that situation with this bag, perfectly reasonable. It might even be slightly better to leave that over 2 consonants, 1 vowel. So then goes Vav in the end. As I say, look, if you don't see that a rev hook, it's probably one of your better options. No man, 65 down, does have a great rack though. You'd think, yeah. Down goes the bonus, middles for 76 for Naman. And that gives Naman the lead. 11 points up now to getting that bonus down. Oh, we've got another disconnection. There we go. Kind of well balanced rack, but U still has that U, so a little bit ugly. That UG combination. Hopefully, yeah, we're back playing again. So yeah, nice little play, nice sort of play to bounce the rack out. Play a Doug for 20, gets a good score, gets rid of that U, the G, it's perfect. And gonna be nip and tuck now. Aria 9 points up. Now man, there's the H and the B for a bit of scoring. So it's one of those fun hooks. There's hen and another little hook that you might not notice. Very easy to overlook here. Orbs, you could put an E on the end for orbis. As I said, those ones are hard to spot because it completely changes the kind of the pronunciation of the word. You know, so yeah, that would have been a nice spot to get orbis and hen or something like that. Also, as I said earlier, ket takes an E and an O, keto, so that could certainly become useful later on. So, but anyway, hen goes down and laid on the triple from Aria, 15 points. So now man, a little bit of a clunky rack at the 2 U's. The B and the F are going to be good to kind of keep some scoring up, but it's going to be difficult. There's a lovely word here, boeuf, which is French for beef. That'll be a nice play. That'll be a top level player, but there's some options with the F and the B. You've got fume. Aging is good. Means again, so you could play something like that, leaving horrible 4 vowels, but certainly be worth playing. So you got some options there, certainly. You'd go for a bit of a. Just plays off FE, leaving B and 4 vowels. Not the greatest, but does score 13 points. And Aria, just the 1 vowel, different problem there. As it's from Aria's perspective, it looks fairly balanced, but plays down Sty for 20. And now, man, let's pick down another consonant after that last play. Got an R to work with, but yeah, it's going to be struggling to score here. So it's a very nip and tuck game. 10 points up at Aria, but now into place. It's pretty much a 50-50 game. Could go down to who gets that S or blank or Z. The board's getting increasingly blocked, that top left. With Vav play, it's pretty much showing off the top left of the board. You could still get something ending in ED onto the D, but yeah, it's looking pretty awkward. The only really places to go here. Sty actually, one thing worth mentioning, Sty actually takes an E. So you can put an E on the end of Sty, so that could be a very useful hook if either player can spot it later on. But in the end, now I'm playing OU, and that's going to make it a little bit easier to use that triple. Don't need that E now. I expect we'll see something like MI played in that with Yum. I'll definitely go in that bottom right corner, and yeah, down it goes. 20 points. But Naman did get to balance the rack out a little bit better, just playing off those couple of vials. Lost slightly in the exchange, but got a better rack as a result. So 14 points down, but more workable rack. Plays Yar and Rune. It's a nice little spot. Getting all those hooks in. Those parallel plays. There's 23 points and 9 points the difference. Say nip and tuck game. And yeah, we're running out of spots to place to play words on this board very quickly. Let's say not really access to that top right, top left corner. It's pretty well neglected. There are places, little nice hooks to go. It could be crucial. So you can put an F on the end of if. It's pretty restrictive. You can only just play the F. You can't play any parallels, so that's going to be too useful. Let's say Sty takes an E. Got XI, XU could be useful. Ooh, that's a very aggressive play. I don't agree with that. That could be a crucial turn there. Playing FA does score 15, but it opens up this triple word score. And yeah, immediately punished by Naman for 38 for bar. So yeah, that was a little bit of a mistake. And as I say, well taken from Naman. 38-point play. It's going to be a big one in the context of the game. Naman 23 points up now. Kind of taking the initiative in this one. There's still a blank and an S and a Z to come though, so still plenty of play left in this one. CAD is an interesting one. CAD takes an S as well as an E hook. ECAD or SCAD. So Naman played DI for 15, but maybe unaware of potential danger of CAD. Could certainly get a big score if you can hit ECAD. If I was in Arya's shoes, even if you knew ECAD, I think I'd leave it for this turn. You can't do enough damage on it with this rack. But then again, if you play GIE, it would score pretty well. But yeah, it just shows you how crucial these 3 and 4 letter words are. ECAD or SCAD. So yeah, there's certainly potential danger. It's like if Arya had a Z on their rack, they could get G's with a Z here on the double letter. It would score 79 points. So that shows you the danger of these little hooks, really. So yeah, be wary of that. The introduced plays Eve, plays the 2 E's off. Don't really like that. So yeah, plays off the 2 good tiles, really. Excuse me. Did open that triple, so potentially could be a big player there, but yeah, Arya's gonna need that blank after Trez. So even game, all of a sudden, Naman has a 67-point lead. And I'll say Arya will need that blank, will need a bonus, you would think. But it's going to be difficult to bonus on this board. Need to open up this top left area. The Z's gone. Plays Grit for 10. Does have a nice rack. Nostril with the S as a blank on Arya's rack, but there's just nowhere to go to bonus. So Naman just need to be a little bit careful here. Don't play something big here and open up. Allow Arya to bonus. Just leave this alone. Do not open up anything. And it should be a win for Naman. But say if Naman did play something like Suture, all of a sudden you could lose the game. So definitely do not do anything like that. So yeah, just say keep things tight, don't know anything up, and yeah, Zell does that. Scars 14 and does not. The main thing is not to open anything up, and As soon as Arya can't bonus, then it should be all safe for Naman to play. Open more things up, but as I say, would have lost to a bonus, so did the right thing, kept it tight. And Arya could decide to pass here and hope that Naman opens up for a bonus, but it should be alright now. It should be enough. So yeah, Rod goes down, and that should confirm the win for Naman now. Now Naman cannot concede a bonus. There are only 5 tiles on Arya's rack, so not enough firepower there. So it's going to be a win for Naman in this final round of the Indo-Nepal Students Tournament, or Bilateral Online Scrabble Championship, whichever title you want to prefer. So that should seal the win for Naman and Nepal. So yeah, just the last rights in this game. I think everybody's leaving. So yeah, not many games left to play. And Arya still with a blank. So, oh, nice play. Naman did know the SCAD. Or guessed it at least. So yeah, SCAD. So did get used in the end. Nice little hook. And it's a useful one. Useful one to play. Arya hitting back with take, but still at on blank. And gives Naman a place to play off the UR for a bit more points. So 12 for UR. Down goes Lint, and that's the game. Naman wins 4-3-1 to 3-4-7. And another win for Nepal in that one. Let's have a look if we've got any updates on the scores. I don't think so, but yeah, we have. Cool. So we've got. We'll just go through the round. These are the round 4. So we've got some scores up now. Right, so yeah, we've got up to round 4. As I said, that was just like round 8. So let's go through some of the players who were unbeaten after round 4. So after round 4, as Amor, which you watched a few of, AMOGH, Amor B, was on 4 wins, a spread of +779. Daywick, another one of the Indian players, was on 4 wins, spread of +769, just 10 points underneath. Another Indian player on 3rd, Kamath, D Kamath, on 4 wins, +431. Nepal, Arnav, 12, first Nepal player on there, 4 wins, +383. And rounding up the top 5 was Vishesh from India, 4 wins, spread of +176. We'll go through the standings more next week. We'll maybe return and cover the last few games next week on Sunday. But for now, that'll be it for our coverage of this match, Indo-Nepal Students Tournament. Well, we've enjoyed the coverage. We'll be back again next week, so you can watch any of the videos on that. They'll stay on Twitch for a fortnight. They'll be on Evil Budgie Scrabble on Facebook. The videos stay there, and I'll put them on YouTube later on. So that's it for now. We'll be back in just over 2.5 hours' time for Pakistan v Canada. That's a full international match. Best players from both countries battling out. 100 games, 10 rounds to see who can win that IC International. So for now, thanks for watching everybody, and we're back in just over 2.5 hours' time. Cheers everybody. See you soon.